Good day, Alive Church Ephrata. How's it going, Pastor Peter here, connecting with you through video chat today and using our developing YouTube channel. How are you today? How are you at the beginning of this week? How are things going in your life now? We continue to be on restrictions, stay-at-home orders. And I know everyone is frustrated with that. And I know everyone has this strong urge and desire to get out. Absolutely. I feel the same way. And my concern is that we're not listening. That we're not listening to God. That we're not hearing Him in the midst of this craziness, this unprecedented time for us, this chaos, this time of uncertainty. There is something much bigger going on that we struggle to understand if we really stop and think about it. I don't care about conspiracy theories. I don't care about perceived government overreach. That's not what I'm talking about. Those are side issues, if they're issues at all, to what is the Lord doing. Are we listening? Are we listening to that? You know, I was here in Psalms 119, and 119 verses 73 through 80. I wanted to share this. Your hands made me and formed me. Give me understanding to learn your commands. May those who fear you rejoice when they see me, for I have put my hope in your word. I know, O Lord, that your laws are righteous, and in faithfulness you have afflicted me. May your unfailing love be my comfort, according to your promise to your servant. Let your compassion come to me that I may live. For your law is my delight. May the arrogant be put to shame for wronging me without cause, but I will meditate on your precepts. May those who fear you turn to me, those who understand your statutes. May my heart be blameless toward your decrees, that I may not be put to shame. Are we turning to God and understanding His statutes? Are our actions as we represent Jesus Christ here on earth shameful or honoring? Are we humbling ourselves before God to listen to what He is telling us, individually and corporately, so that He is reflected in us, in our community, and that we are not put to shame? You know, I have a quote here from C.S. Lewis talking about how God communicates to us. C.S. Lewis said this, he wrote this, he says, God whispers to us in our pleasures, speaks in our conscience, but shouts in our pains. It is His megaphone to rouse a deaf world. Are we roused yet? And another story about God talking to us is Elijah. as he's running away from being persecuted, from being killed. All of God's prophets were being killed, and he's running away to Mount Oreb. He's running to that sacred ground where God gave Moses the Ten Commandments, and he's running there for safety. He covered a great distance, something like 200 miles after fasting for 40 days. But anyways, here's what it says in 1 Kings 19. The Lord appears to Elijah, and this is what happens. And the word of the Lord came to him. What are you doing here, Elijah? He's in Mount Oreb. He replied, I have been very zealous for the Lord God Almighty. The Israelites have rejected your covenant, broken down your altars, and put your prophets to death with the sword. I am the only one left, and now they are trying to kill me. The Lord said, go out and stand on the mountain in the presence of the Lord, for the Lord is about to pass by. Then a great and powerful wind tore the mountain apart, shattered the rocks before the Lord, but the Lord was not in the wind. After the wind, there was an earthquake, but the Lord was not in the earthquake. After the earthquake came a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire came a gentle whisper. When Elijah heard it, he pulled his cloak over his face and went out and stood at the mouth of the cave. And what Elijah was doing was standing then in the presence of God because he heard God's voice. What is the shattered mountain? What is the earthquake? What is the fire around you that is not the voice of the Lord? The Lord is using his megaphone in your pain to get your attention. But are you listening to the still small voice of the Lord as he passes by on the gentle breeze, even amongst this ridiculous chaos going on around us? My encouragement to you today is to ignore the noise, the destruction, the earthquakes, the fires, all of that stuff. Just ignore that and find the still small voice, the gentle whisper on the breeze that is the Lord's voice for the word that he has for you today, for this week. I pray that you hear that voice, and I pray that you humble yourself before the Lord to receive what he has for you today. Thanks for this time. God bless you, and may the Lord be with you, and may you hear his gentle voice on the breeze.